Today, with help along your way and mouthofmetal.com, we have Josh Elmore from Cattle Decapitation. So welcome, Josh.
Hey, thank you.
So the new album is titled The Anthropocene Extinction. And the first topic we want to cover is the recording. So was there a new piece of recording equipment or instrument that you use for the recording?
As far as the recording here itself, we did it with Dave Otero again and Flatline Audio in Denver. I'm pretty sure he may have had a couple new kind of upgrades to his system, but I wasn't aware of them. As far as like instrumentation goes or like gear for my personal, there's an amp I use that I did not have last time that I was pretty excited to bring it in the mix. Last time I recorded with my partner, Vishal, which I still really like, but last year I bought a Baron DHG as a new amp. I was just I'd had my other rig for like 12 years, and I just kind of thought, I'd like to just change it up. Nothing wrong with what I have, but, just kind of looking for something new. So I got that amp in July of 2014, and just loving it. I've been loving it ever since. So I was thrilled to be able to get in there and record with it. Change, especially on my end. Sounds a little different than, on past albums, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's real crunchy, got a lot of low-end punch to it. It's super tight,
Exactly.
It kind of does everything I'd like it to do. So everyone else's gear was pretty much exactly the same. We just made some tweaks, obviously, queuing it in the mix different than last time. But gear-wise, yeah, that was the only difference.
Okay, so how do you maintain the continuity of sound with your new gear? So it's, you mentioned your colleagues are still using pretty much the same equipment, and yours changes a little bit, and to me it's an improved sound, which I like. But how do you maintain that continuity with their sound and put it all together?
We were both trying, because we tune, like we're not one of those bands that tunes down super low. We're only like E flat. I at least myself, try to have a tone that a lot of mid to kind of cut, but a lot of kind of low end just to sort of fill it in, where there may be something lacking. I mean, the bass guitar, obviously, that's what it's for, just to kind of fill out the guitar spectrum. So I don't think, as far as like anything new that would have had to have been changed or altered because of the amp choice, I think if there was anything, it was myself kind of working around it where I would add, there's like this amp had a little more, some more features where there's like a low mid boost, and it's like there's a thing called a voice where you can, go counterclockwise, it's a little more open, and then the more clockwise you turn it, it focuses a lot more. So I was able to fine tune those parts of the sound and make it a lot more like tight and percussive, which is what I was looking for. I didn't want as much sag in the sound. So I think that kind of made a lot of the tremolo pick parts on the record that much tighter, and live the same way, of course. So those guys really didn't have to do much of anything different. It was more me kind of fooling around with the new amp and just getting it so I could just optimize what I had in my head as it related to their sound and the music in general.
Okay, very good. So on average, how many tracks or takes per track would you say each of the instruments took?
Okay, I would do 2 rhythm layers, double them, and then we would reamp again later. So basically 4, and then it usually be 1 pass. I mean, if obviously there's a mountain or like a harmony in there, I would double that. Or if there were like sort of layering, like more ambient, just like a single chord that I was holding, or like feedback or whatever. Like certain feedback stuff, I'd layer like 3 or 4 layers of feedback just to try to get the real just screeching, grating kind of sound, just to emphasize that effect. But for the most part, it was just 2 regular rhythm tracks. Double my first one and then reamp it so that it would be 4.
Okay.
And then bass single, obviously drum single, So my job, aside from doing scratch tracks for pre-game, once I actually got to actual recording proper, it's just a lot of work. It's not, okay, you got it. It's like, well, I'll do it again. Make it exactly like that. So it's kind of tedious, but I mean, it's what you got to do, so.
Right. Now, did y'all consider in this recording process recording it as a live band, or did you think that isolation, instrument, or voice at a time is the best approach?
We've done live before, or at least done a live, drums. People play with the drums. Drums are recorded live. You can fix things a little here and there, but we've done it that way, and then we all do our parts separately on top of that. The way we do it now is I go in and do the scratches. We determine, click tempos for everything, and then I put the scratch guitar, and then Dave records the drums to that. Then I layer guitar, and then bass, blah blah blah. I think you can get a lot more. It's kind of I don't know, pluses and minuses. You do it live, and there's the EDC and that sort of energy. Yeah, I get hype if you like it, but there's that energy at the same time. You do it in parts the way we have been doing it. You just can micro dissect everything and make it as perfect as you try for it to be. So it's kind of because of the type of band we are. We're not one of those, we're not one of those bands or like the type of guys that, we're not the type of guys that sit there in front of our computer for 10 hours a day. We're more like, let's get in practice face to face, do that. So by us, it's never going to be as tight as those guys do all the other computers. So to have a medium between us being not those type of players and the ability to kind of dissect stuff, it's almost a little truer sound, to what we are. We're sitting in computers all day. I mean, I don't think it would end up live like that at all because we throw our crap around too much.
Right. Okay.
Get rowdy.
All right. The last track on the standard release, Pacific Grim, it's got a bass interlude where the tempo slows down and all you hear is the bass for just a few seconds. Really catchy, and I really like it. Do you know if that was recorded with just a direct line in, or was it mic'd to the amp, or how did that work?
What he does is he has an SVT4 Pro, and he does the Sam's amp thing. I know exactly what you're talking. It's a one tempo, and then it's almost like he slows it down a hair, and then the rest of it follows suit with the tempo key.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking you're speaking of. That would be just his. You got after the MG pickups in his bass, the 5-string ESP, and then his Sam's amp and his SVT4 Pro, and then they mic it up in the room. So he did it direct, then they reamped it there, but that was exactly the pathway that it was the components of the game. So I think for this type of music, unless you're going to do the total chain embry, super distorted thing, which in its place, here and there, the Sam's amp and music sounds great for it. You got the sharpness and that really, I don't say bell-like, but the very tone of the low end to it. It's not flubby at all. I think it definitely comes through on that buzz you're referring to.
Really good, really good. So it was a good way to finish the CD. Live Extinction is the next section. So we know you're the one guitarist in the band. How are the rhythm guitar parts covered or accounted for in the live setting?
Kind of Manufactured Extinct, which is the opening track. The studio version, of course, there's one guitar doing an octave melody over everything, and then the other two sort of figuring out chords. That's one thing that I always go for, okay, what are their ears focusing on right now? Okay, the octave, the melody. So I'll do that. And then I have other little sort of relevant tricks for other techniques to use to fill it in, when I'm not, if I'm the only guitar player. When that song starts and it's just that's pretty much just beating an octave. So once it kicks in with drums and just the beat started, I'm droning on the low key to give it some more body. And it just gives this really cool sort of sound that I didn't necessarily use on the record. If that was to part it all out, which is chords and the octave, but try to compensate for being only one guitar. I kind of like how it actually started to sound. It gives it almost like I don't want to say guitar, that kind of much more of a dramatic effect than it actually gets. But it says that drone string, it sounds really cool. So there's a lot of neat little creative stuff you can do to try to compensate for being only one guitar. It works really well. It still fits everything, and it sounds out of place or disconcerting to people who are used to the studio recording. Or we just need a second guitar player for live. I don't know. That's been kind of discussed here and there. But up until this point, maybe as we try to expand our production or whatever, we might just get, someone to do like those parts live, just have a second guitar player, so it's taking it up a little bit. But, at this point, I'm still fairly confident with my, being able to like, kind of cover both bases at the same time. The only time I can see it being like, well, that's very weak, stuff where like, just from doing as a lot of low end stuff, and then the bottom kind of drops out, so there's all the, doodly stuff up top, then I can feel it more reason for it. But I don't know. I've made it work for a lot of years, but, we may come to the point where we decide that, we need, someone else to show up, fill out the bottom end, or maybe future writing will be a little more complex and kind of like a guitar play. Well, it will be missing if there's not two guitars there, so,
right.
We'll see what develops actually.
Yeah, or you could go with the 10-fingered approach like classical guitarists use, and they play two different parts at the same time.
Yeah, the bass on one end and then just the melody up on top of the. I'd have to go back to school for a little bit.
That would be awesome if you did. Just opinion.
No, that would be super cool.
So we know you'll be touring with Cannibal Corpse, so we just saw that news come out. What are your thoughts on that future tour? I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of heaviness.
That's with Disruption's on there too, and our drummer's a huge Disruption fan, so he's tickled, of course. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty ridiculous tour. Like, I mean, it's something we've wanted for years and years. I'm glad we finally get a chance to make it work, so it should be pretty fun, and it's just going to be a whole evening of battering, so people are tolerant of that.
When you're off the road and you're down like a couple weeks, do you feel you get anxious to get back on the road again?
I think a lot of people, it's one of those things, especially when your tour cycle starts, you're either second year off the road, you want to go back. The second year on the road, you're like, how many more days is this?
Yes.
It's like you're never happy with it. But I don't know. I think like now in this tour that where we're at, we're on a pretty good roll. Summer Slaughter is really draining for bands because it's just it's just boom, boom, boom. Every day is a long day. There's no like load-ins at 4, we play at 10, whatever. It's like load-in is at 11, and you may play at 8. You may play not in our case because we play at like usually 6 or 7, but in other bands' case they may load in at 10 and not play till 10 or 11. So they have super long days. The drives are, they don't want to be too close proximity to one another at the venue. So there's been a few shorties, but there's a lot of longer drives. So it's pretty grueling. So this is one of those tours that you see a very positive outcome from maybe trying on new people to your stuff. Because the audiences are kind of a little more varied. But it takes a toll on you physically. It's just there's a lot to get done. And we, especially in our case, we're fortunate in the way that we're sharing a vehicle with Beyond Creation, so we don't have to drive this time, or I don't have to drive this time. How about that? But in place of that, there's been a lot more promotional stuff in the past, like this interview. I mean, there's every day there's like 3 or 4 interviews to do, in addition to a lot of email, jockeying around. So in that respect, it's a lot more taxing. So this is a very, very, very busy tour. So I think when we're done with this, it's going to be a nice break when we get back. And by that I mean when we get back, rest day, and then go back to our normal jobs, and then start on the road 3 weeks later, and then we're not back until mid-November then.
Yeah.
But it's the tour cycle starting, so that's just that.
Yeah. So, lyrical extinction. Crocodile rot, I'd seen that word before. I didn't know what it was. It's a horrible flesh-eating condition that comes about because of chemical abuse. Have you ever known anyone to have this?
No, I think we all, or like the rest of us, learned about it. Actually, I think there was a Vice documentary about that drug mostly in Russia and parts former Soviet states, those countries that become, I don't know if an epidemic, but they're, a serious problem with it, where, these people were just doing it, so their limbs, like their legs were rotting off.
Right.
So it was just such a, the pictures and the story is so dramatic that, Travis, it's just looking for some gross stuff, he triggered, sort of current events, sort of related stuff, and all of that's, a couple years old as far as being in the eye, public eye, popular eye. He decided to, have a song about it, his angle on it. So, yeah, it's pretty horrifying. Just people are like, crocodile rock? I'm like, well, it's a play on that, but crocodile with a K, and just don't look it up. you can look up like Wikipedia, but don't look at pictures. Of course means they're going to look at pictures, of course. So they do like, oh God, that's awful. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, it's a sort of creative, gross death metal subject matter.
Yes.
It's not just, the usual kind of stuff.
Right. Overall, the interpretation that I get from all the lyrics is, hey, we're all going to hell in a handbasket, but, by the way, if you want to do something about it, stand up and do something, right? So that leads to the last question. There's the song, The Burden of the 7 Billion, and then Apex Blasphemy. It mentions overpopulation. Do you and yourself think the world is overpopulated, or do you think it's just controlled by the elite few?
Well, it's overpopulated in the way that like there should be just plentiful resources here for everyone, and by either too much population putting too much pressure on a certain ecosystem, or other populations of a great distance kind of depleting population that we should have ample resources, just taking all their vital elements away from them. Like in that way, I think it's like there's certain like first world populations that put way too much pressure on third world population for their resources, and I think that there's this. Keep it simple. Yeah, I think there's way too many people on this earth.
Yeah.
Not trying to explain it, be close about it. Yeah, there's way too many people on this earth.
Okay.
Sort of buckling under the needs that everyone has, and there's this inequitability there, between populations with relatively, a lot of wealth that have the same material and resource needs versus relatively poor populations that are very simple enough, they don't put a lot of pressure on stuff. So there's a lot of problems that just go beyond like well-spoken children or birth control awareness or anything like that. That's just one part of it. I think we got to look a lot at this giant vacuum that like a lot of Western culture has just become for any sort of resource it can have. You just have to use it, dispose of it as quickly as possible. So I think we have to be a little more conscious of that we do have that feature in our society and that we control it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It leads me to the song, the track, or the CD by Napalm Death. Enslavement to obliteration. It makes me think entitlement to enslavement. But I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you so much for your time.